As we're reviewing this with the bad angel over Sarah's shoulder.
Why am I the bad angel?
Because the good angel's on the other side. We just can't see because they're standing outside the car.
So, like, eat your greens.
Oh, no, wait, she left. Anyway, my butt is warm.
Yeah, we had the seat warmer on.
I really hope that's what it is. Otherwise, I just had diarrhea, and I'm going to have to take care of this once we're done reviewing this.
Dude, my car.
It wouldn't be the first time we've taken a shit in here. So it's been a while since all three of us have done this.
It's been a real long time since,
I want to say Suicide Squad.
Jesus, yeah,
Sounds
I think
about
so.
right.
I think so. I think Suicide Squad. We come together for movies largely about criminals with a recognizable soundtrack. If there's any other similarity between the two movies.
Like,
No. No.
movies with a murderous psychopathic boyfriend come to rescue someone.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Very true. So we just got out of Bad Times at the Royale, which is the new Drew Goddard movie. Both of you were really looking forward to this one. And you would call dibs.
I sure did.
I'd call dibs, too.
I called him first.
I don't know about that.
So, but I also did a follow-up because I was keeping track of when it was released, and I texted Brad and said, "Hey, I get to go see Bad Times, right?" And Brad's like, "You sure do, buddy."
You sure do. Who is this?
They went home bragging on it, and David's like, "Oh man, so we got a babysitter."
Couldn't invite you, Dave. The movie looked good.
Yeah, I know.
But Trump prophecy. Hey, man.
Fucking, I go back to work to try and provide for my family, and the end result is I just get to see garbage.
Yo, man, you want to go see God Bless the Broken Road?
All right.
Yes? Well, okay. It's a date.
I like that you text like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do. I got an old-timey phone.
Tip,
Text, I guess. So what did you both think of this?
I loved this movie.
I enjoyed it immensely.
I
Yeah.
loved it so much. I was expecting to like it, but it's just the kind of movie that I enjoy, where it's like it's all twisty and interesting. And
Yeah.
it was kind of a bummer, but it was like entertaining and funny enough that it was kind of pulling me through the bummer parts.
Yeah, you remember when we reviewed Life Itself? And
I do remember that.
First of all, this movie's better than that.
Yes.
When we reviewed Life Itself, and one of the things I said was like about Life Itself, where I said that the movie reminded me of a lot of really bad shit that we got post Pulp Fiction, where it was like things that were trying too hard to be too cool and we're just kind of falling flat on their face.
But this was like one of the good ones.
This is the opposite of that. This again feels like it is still of that era in a
very
post
very mid-90s.
Yeah.
I was getting a Four Roomsy vibe.
Yeah,
Which
like
made me wonder.
Four Rooms meets like
Go and did the same kind of thing.
Little Identity with John Cusack thrown in
that
there.
fucking movie.
Like it was so this
The payoff sucks, but
this
it's such a good movie.
I was glad this movie didn't have a similar kind of payoff.
What was the
but-
payoff in Identity?
We'll tell you after the thing. But like
we'll take this offline.
The movie's 20 years old. I think we could tell her.
Nah,
finish your thought.
So this movie reminded me more of like a lot of cool shit that we would get than these really with an ensemble cast, a non-linear story, kind of jumping back and forth. They pump up the soundtrack. They get all of these actors in here to really carry a lot of pretty witty dialogue that the movie has.
Yes.
And it does it well. So much so that the movie it honestly does Tarantino better than the last two actual Tarantino movies I saw. I like this movie a hell of a lot better than I like The Hateful Eight.
Well, this was like this was very in love with the era that it was set in, and I think that was one of
60s.
the things that I
Yeah.
enjoyed about it, because it wasn't just like set pieces and soundtrack.
Yeah,
all the characters
yeah.
were so 60s, from like the CIA guy,
Yeah.
and like the just come back. Like, are you sure it was 60s? I think it might have been 70s, because dude was
Was
in,
it the 70s?
dude was
I
in
would say
Vietnam.
this was late 60s.
I would put it at like 68 or 69.
Okay.
Especially considering like some of the stuff Hemsworth is doing in the movie.
Because little dude went to war, came back, got himself a heroin addiction. So it wasn't
Yeah.
just like, top level 60s. It was like the deep dark stuff. Coming to like
Yeah.
the murderous psychopathic hippie cult.
Yeah.
And then showed up and was like, yay! I mean,
Yeah.
boo, but yay!
That was one thing I liked about this movie is like it combines you know, like Motown with some spy shit with John Hamm's character mixed in with like these bank robbers that are like kind of Kubrick the Killing-esque in a way, then Vietnam, and then pretty much the Manson family.
Yeah.
Like all kind of coming together in this hotel on the border of California and Nevada.
Yeah.
And well, needless to say, a lot of violence happens in the film. And it sets it up to where a lot of the stories you don't know how they're going to combine, and you certainly don't know how the stories are really going to end. Because this is one of those movies where the resolution of this could go a lot of different ways. Either someone could come out of this movie, or it could be one of those movies where everyone just dies at the end. Like Reservoir Dogs or something like that.
And I like that the twists weren't like... There weren't any like turn the whole movie on its ear style twists, which
No.
you have to do like well to make it not annoying.
Yeah.
But this movie had like a lot of wait what moments, and it was like they were spread out perfectly enough that like you'd like get invested in the movie again, and then some character would be like, well, you know, also this, and it's like, wait, what? And then like the placard would come up, like, let's hear about this guy.
Yeah, the most of the information that it gives you is wildly necessary to know before the next thing happens. And it is one of those where you're seeing a lot of the same event from a different point of view and how it kind of plays out differently. And I agree with you. I'm glad it didn't go for one of those.
It didn't turn out it was purgatory.
Yeah, like you know, or as much as I like Cabin in the Woods a lot, and this is also a Drew Goddard movie. I was glad it didn't do something like that in the last act. That's fine for that movie, you know. And I was
but
glad
you don't want that guy to do that over and over
again. Yeah,
That turns
same
out
with
that's his thing now.
doing something similar that Identity did.
Yeah.
The
Which
Cusack
was
movie.
interesting, but the payoff wasn't great. You know?
It's like, oh well, it's one of these. All right. The movie, I thought it was a little long. I thought that there were scenes that when I was watching it, because I did really, really like this movie a lot. I thought it was very entertaining. It reminded me a lot of cool movies you just kind of stumble across at the indie theater about 20 years ago.
At the Fox.
Over at the Fox. This is something we would go see at the Fox. Yeah, it absolutely is. But I don't know if I don't think I would put this on like my 10 best. Because there were a lot of scenes where I was sitting there thinking, like, this could kind of be trimmed here and there. Some lines here could be trimmed.
That it was nice that it was long. I mean, for
Sure.
me, it wasn't interminable, and it
No,
again kind of
no.
like harkened to the era where they took their sweet ass time.
Yeah,
That's true.
I think the movie was probably 20 minutes too long. But
Yeah.
but at the same time, what Sarah's, I have to agree with Sarah. Where, I kind of thought that too. Where I was like, oh, okay. It never lost my interest, and every time it came close to it, it would throw something else in that
Somebody's
would
face would
bring you
explode.
right back in.
No, that's true. I mean, I was never sitting there like, God, this is taking me out of this. I'm sitting here fucking bored. No, nothing like that. It wasn't like I was sitting there thinking that whole scenes in this movie could be lost. I didn't think that, because each scene in the movie does contain some pretty pertinent information. But there are scenes that I thought could be there were a lot of scenes that could be trimmed. I thought there were a lot of lines that could be trimmed here and there. It was sort of reaching a point, because a lot of sequences went on kind of long. It was reaching a point where a lot of the movie... It did sort of feel sometimes like I was watching a whole season's worth of a television show kind of condensed into a 2.5-hour movie. And I've seen that done poorly. The Last Airbender.
As you know, when we went to the Sunken Library and fought the giant owl.
I've certainly seen that done poorly, and I don't think this movie did that poorly at all. But it did sort of feel like that to me. So it sort of like at times felt like I kind of feel like I'm watching like a condensed season of Wayward Pines every once in a while. But
That's fair.
you
I
know,
did feel like that.
but that didn't make me dislike the movie by any stretch. It was just, if I had any kind of criticism of the movie, it would be that. I still had a really good time watching this movie.
The acting was phenomenal.
It was. I really liked seeing Jeff Bridges not play a cowboy again.
You know what? I mean, he was still doing the voice a little bit, but it was not as, like, pushed out and forced or completely out of place, like in, like, say, Seventh Son.
I didn't see that. I forgot about that movie. You and
he a
Brian
cowboy
were
in
at
there?
that movie. No, that was a medieval movie.
Okay.
But he did the cowboy voice for some reason. No, he still had a little bit of that cowboy voice, but it was like, let's be honest, Jeff Bridges is always a great actor.
Yeah.
But I gotta give Drew Goddard credit for fucking sticking with the fucking close-ups and letting the man act with his face, because that's what he's so good at.
Mm-hmm. We were even saying that last week with Sam Elliott. And
Yeah.
Oh, God,
movies,
yeah. Just
right,
like-
Star
like-
is Born.
Making his eyes go like he was.
Yeah.
He would cry if he wasn't so goddamn manly.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the thing about some actors, like guys like Sam Elliott and Jeff Bridges and some other actors, is they're kind of iconic for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Elliott has always been iconic for who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the
Even
same,
in like Frogs.
but that's the thing. It's like those actors, because of that iconography to them as actors and the roles that they've done, and sometimes they don't actually have to act that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of thought that Jeff Bridges already had a cowboy voice, but
not really.
We'll
If
go back,
you look at,
we'll go back. We'll watch Starman this weekend.
yeah, go back to like some
he is my
some
baby,
stuff he
but
did.
he is also his baby.
Some stuff he did like in the 70s and 80s
Partner.
where it was more kind of like a
Yeah,
like a California lingo,
Yeah.
sort of, especially in
Maybe he got
something
kind
like
of cowboy-y in his old age.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe that is an old age thing where that's just what his voice does now. But,
mhm.
but it seems like after True Grit, he's like, "Fuck it, I'm a cowboy."
I'm
And
just
it's
a
like,
cowboy
okay,
in everything now.
yeah.
He finally got out of playing the dude and everything,
Yeah.
and now it's playing westerns in movies that aren't westerns.
No, but like he did a fantastic job.
No, he was great.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Dakota Johnson is a fucking amazing actor.
Yeah.
You know what? This is the first thing I've seen her in.
Oh, you didn't see?
You didn't see 50 Shades of Grey?
No, and that's the thing. Like,
That was
she
the first
she
thing I
keeps, like,
noticed. She's
popping-
really good at
She
acting.
keeps
Yeah.
getting like casted in movies that I want to see, and I'm like, the 50 Shades of Grey girl. And then,
No,
No, she's really good.
and then like watching this, I was like, oh, you're talented. Okay.
She's even the best performance in those movies.
Oh,
those movies are hot garbage.
Yeah.
But man, she is trying
She
to make
makes
something work
them
in that.
somewhat watchable.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Did you see Black Mass with Johnny Depp where he was
No, I didn't get a
Whitey
Whitey
Bulger?
Bulger?
Yeah, she's his wife in
Okay.
that. And well, none of us saw How to Be Single, or Irving flew solo at that one.
Oh
Yeah, 'cause
no!
she's
Go by yourself to see How to Be Single.
And I think it was like Valentine's Day.
Oh.
That was, you and I were at something. Fuck, we might have been at like fucking 50 Shades. I can't remember. I can't remember, but you and I were at something that night. Irving flew solo with
Oh,
that
that's too
movie.
funny.
I've been like
I miss a few soda.
the one thing I've been wary about the new Suspiria was her casting, and this kind of
she's-
sold me on it. A
I
little
think
bit
she's
more.
gonna do good.
No, I when she was announced for that, for the new Suspiria, I was like, no, that's pretty good casting. No, there wasn't
Thank you.
any kind of low performance in this movie at all.
No.
They're all
Oh,
acting
everyone
their
did
asses off
fantastic.
in this.
I
And
wasn't
like,
familiar with that black woman
Mm-hmm.
singer, but she was fantastic too. And she was doing like that subtle shit.
yeah,
Where, like everyone else was freaking out when they were tied to chairs, and she's just like fucking stone facing
Yeah.
that guy.
she's in that new Widows movie that's coming out.
Oh, with
aside
Viola
from-
Davis.
Yeah. She's in that. No, she was solid in this, and it was they're really making a lot of this dialogue work too, because it does have some pretty witty back and forth in this. Chris Hemsworth is having a great fucking time
Yeah.
playing this
I love seeing that.
Charles Manson
Just
Starkweather.
like shirtless and doing like a weird
Yeah.
torso dance. Like, now ladies, we're gonna have a tussle, and the winner gets to sleep with me in the big house.
Man, like if Charles Manson was an underwear model, like, it was
If Charles Manson was a
insane.
Hemsworth.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea. Versus
Now I get it.
Versus again, to bring it up, Life Itself, when we're watching it, that did have some people acting their asses off, and it just made us
you
mad.
mad.
Like, why?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Stop acting in this. Quit, for the love of God. You're all above this. Oh, yeah,
poor
try
Oscar
sitting through that
Isaac.
shit.
No, I don't have to.
We'll recreate it for
What
you.
did you tell him about it when you got home that night?
I mean, probably.
I read some of the reviews. No, no, fuck that. No.
It was
death porn.
I see enough garbage for you. You're not putting shit on me that I don't have to see.
But at least this was all right though. And the movie was awful, but this was all right because we were the only ones in the theater.
Yeah, so we were just like loudly bantering and throwing popcorn at the screen.
Yeah,
Which the last few times we almost got that. Someone shows up right as the.
I hate that shit.
We were so excited.
Yeah, I fucking hate that shit. That happened to me and Irving at fucking just getting started. And someone walked in during the trailers.
Just
and
as it was getting started.
Son of a bitch, even before it really got started. That happened to us during fucking Sherlock Gnomes. We're like, how dare you show up at this?
Get out!
At 10:30 at night on a Thursday. Fucking Sherlock Gnomes. No, I recommend this movie. I had a really good time watching it. It was a good trip, honestly. It was an entertaining film. I've got some issues with pacing and everything on it, but
I'm still not sure who that little girl stabbed. The pediatrician, maybe?
Someone. I don't think it really matters who she stabbed. I think.
Well, because they're talking on TV about a pediatrician and his wife getting murdered.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's probably who she stabbed, but I kept expecting them to explain it, and then they didn't.
I don't think it matters. That's the thing.
It matters to me.
That just came across to me like it was just part of this Manson family-esque kind of murder spree that they went on. That I didn't really have any questions about that, really. Like, I just assumed it was just part of that murder spree.
Yeah, I think it was the pediatrician.
Yeah.
And then I also think that third member of the bank robbery gang wasn't stupid. He was twisty.
Twisty?
Yeah.
Like that's his name? Like
no, like
Squeaky.
He's the one who murdered Nick Offerman.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why he slammed the car into the armored truck, even though that wasn't the plan, so that he could split him up so they could murder Nick Offerman.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler, by the way. That's the opening scene.
But what happened to that guy? Because he just disappeared, and then later they asked, like, who else is looking for this money? And Jeff Bridges is like, it's only me, partner.
Yeah, I don't know. I got thought like, well, maybe they explained that when I got up to use the restroom at one point. Oh, I guess not. No, this is worth going to check out.
Yes.
It was a fun time.
No,
like, I'd kind of want to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. It probably, just from the garbage that I get to see most of the time, will be on my top 10 of the year.
Because it'll be the only good movie you saw this year.
I know.
It'll be like that, and then number 2 will be Bless the Broken Road.
It's his second best, only because it was the 10th worst.
Yep.
Well, both of us are going to have Life Itself on ours, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The only question is where.
You'll have to send me the list of, like, the bad ones I've seen, but I'll remember fucking Life Itself.
We're remembering that shit. Alright, should we do trailers?
We shall.
I missed, like, half of these, but I'm sure I've seen all of these trailers.
I hadn't seen most of them, so I don't get to see movies often anymore.
Halloween.
That comes
the new
out
one
next week.
with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
Does it come out on Halloween?
It comes out next week. That's getting really, really good reviews, too.
It looks pretty good.
I'm curious about it.
Yeah,
Except for
here.
it takes 3 out of the canon, so I mean...
It
takes all of them out of canon, which makes me feel dumb for having watched them.
This is like the third time they've done that. Like when they made H2O, they took 3's in a canon all its own, but like they took 4, 5, and 6 out of canon for H2O and Resurrection. Zombies movies are just on his own, and now this one just resets it again
after the first one.
Yeah,
this one takes
only
the
first
second
one's
one
in
out of canon. Yeah,
because
Right.
Jamie was the name of the
Jamie Lloyd,
Yeah.
the niece.
yes that he impregnates.
And depending on what version of 6 you watch.
Yeah, because he gets her pregnant, but then everyone dies. Like Paul Rudd is a radio DJ.
He's Tommy from the first one.
He's
he's the same. Not that he played.
Okay,
it's
I was gonna say.
It's the same character as the kid from the first one.
He's like watching the kid for a while, and is that Jamie's kid that he's watching?
Yeah, because he finds the baby in a bus stop.
Yeah,
or a train station.
He's like, guess this is my baby now.
Yeah, because he hears her on the radio. He hears her on the radio saying where she is, and he goes and gets to the baby. The theatrical version of 6 is dog shit. I kind of like the producer's cut.
That's probably the one that I've seen.
if you're remembering it with like a lot of the Thorn cult and everything.
Yeah,
then,
Thurisaz.
Yeah, like that's in a lot more of the producer's cut of 6. But I'm looking forward, and there's a few of the Halloween sequels that I liked fine, but I'm really excited for this, and that I think it's the only one other than the first one that's getting good reviews.
I feel like I saw, which is the one that had Busta Rhymes in it?
That was Resurrection.
Yeah, so that
Trick
one
or
in
treat,
theater.
motherfucker! Fuck that movie.
That's what
Oh
I was like. I was in
God.
the theater, and someone in the audience when he showed up yelled from the back, "Hey, Buster, pass the Corvassier!" And the whole theater laughed for like 20 minutes because it was the most interesting thing that had happened since the movie started.
That movie sucks.
That movie was
He came
terrible.
back to life like 3 times, and every time I was like, "Yay, Buster's back! I'm invested again."
Give everybody
That's
a
all right,
fucking
look.
GoPro and make a Michael Myers movie. Fuck that movie.
That's all right. Laurie Strode has now been resurrected more times than Michael has.
Yeah.
What else we got?
We got The Girl in the Spider's Web, which
Yeah.
we've gotten the preview for a bajillion times. Have you seen this one yet, David?
No, it's weird. Are they doing this as like a continuation of the last one? Or
I don't
is
know
this-
if it's in canon. I mean, I guess it
It's a
would
different
be in
book.
it's a different book. I mean, I guess it would be in canon in the same sense that. All right, well, I'm sure all those events do exist in the universe of this movie.
Are they
but
basically making her James Bond now? Is really what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't even know. I feel like it's supposed to be the same girl. It's supposed to
Well, it's the
still be
same character, yeah. but-
Elizabeth Solander.
But is it in like continuity with the David Fincher version? I don't know. I kind of wish they did continue it with that cast, but no, the new one. It's you know what? It's probably gonna be really really good.
Yeah, Claire Foy is amazing.
No, yeah, she's great. It'll probably be really really good, or it could be this year's Snowman.
Yeah.
In which case we win. Either way.
They win in both cases.
Either way.
I've never read the books, but that trailer seemed really high on action.
I mean,
The other movies were pretty high
Yeah.
in action.
um,
I
mean,
the
even-
first one was super rapey.
yeah, well, I think they all kind of are, but like I mean, even the trailer for the Fincher one pumped up all the action,
Yeah, I guess.
especially in that first trailer for it.
Because I tried reading the first book, and it was just a whole lot of like
I
private
think
investigating
they were
of
that well
like
written myself.
bank
I've not
fraud,
read them.
some kind of fraud, and I got bored pretty fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The movies were much more action packed.
I never did see the third one of the like original trilogy.
The girl who
that
kicked the hornet's nest?
I never did see that, but I saw the first 2 and I saw the Fincher
I
one.
don't think I saw the Hornets, because I saw the girl who played with fire,
Yeah.
because that one had Orinoco Flow in it,
Uh,
and I love that song.
oh yeah. Is that one I saw?
Overlord.
That was when I came back from the bathroom.
Still have no idea what this movie's about. I guess it's like Nazis made monsters, maybe?
Yeah,
I
pretty
think
much.
so. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks like a video game movie if J.J. Abrams was making a video game movie.
Did J.J. Abrams make it?
Yeah, he's the producer behind it. The best video game movies are the movies that feel like they're based on video games but aren't.
Yeah.
Oh, Hunter Killer.
Yeah.
The submarine. That looks lame as fuck.
It does, but
does.
it's the same people who made like a fucking like a White House Down or some shit. So,
Olympus Has Fallen.
Olympus Has Fallen, which
Yeah.
means it could be a fucking blast.
It could be
Because Olympus
that's-
Has Fallen and London Has Fallen were fantastic.
Oh yeah, and I hope that's what I'm getting into with
Yeah.
that movie. But from the trailer, it mostly looks just kind of boring.
I think they're
So
taking
boring.
movies
It
like
has to be like the sizzle reel for the trailer.
yeah.
I think whoever makes those movies, the dude's just like, I had this idea for a movie when I was a kid starring Steven Seagal, but fuck Steven Seagal, but I'm still making the movie.
Yeah, I mean that's
They should
basically
have still cast Steven Seagal.
No, fuck that guy. That man is
Can you imagine
a
trying to
fucking...
fit on a submarine?
He is such a fat, stupid, racist, dog-killing piece of shit.
Oh, I'll have next time you talk to Ryan, ask him to tell you some stories.
He told me some of them, but that
Don't say it on
piece
air.
of shit.
So, The Upside.
Oh, that's a remake too of I I thought it looked familiar.
Wheelchair suicide. I told you.
No, I hope not. Then we know how it ends. What's it called? Like
They fall in love.
help me out, chat. The movie with the guy in the wheelchair and he's on balloons.
Ironsides.
No, it's like
A remake of The Untouchables.
Intouchables. The Intouchables. That's what it's a remake of. Thank you. Yeah, it's a remake. I thought it looked kind of familiar when I've not seen that movie, but I remember when it came out, it was a big indie hit. And
oh, thank you.
no, I hope that's good. It comes out in January, which has me concerned, but
yeah, it looks like one of those things that they're like, hey, let's see if we can get Bryan Cranston another Oscar, and they're like, but let's put Kevin Hart in it.
Oh, we did.
They thought fall in love,
Or
and then Bryan
finally get
Cranston
Bryan
still
Cranston
decides
an
to
Oscar,
kill
I should
himself, and Kevin Hart has to go and watch him.
I mean, I'm down to see it, especially after how fucking shitty Night School was.
Yeah.
Was Night School shitty?
Oh,
Previous
God.
made me laugh.
No, it was bad.
I love Tiffany Haddish, but I feel like she says yes to anything, movies-wise. You know?
Well, and
She's in the next Tyler Perry movie coming out.
oh no, honey, no! You were doing so
And
good.
she's really charismatic, but at the same time, I think she's one of those people that has a shtick that for a couple years, that's just going to be her shtick.
Well, she was the best part of Night School, because, yeah, there's times where she's just doing her shtick in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are times where she's kind of playing the straight man of the film.
Yeah, she seems like a really genuine person.
Yeah.
No, and I have, like...
It's not like all shtick, no substance.
That I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think her career right now is based on the shtick, and that's why she's getting a lot of work.
That's what that Tyler Perry movie looks like.
And I don't think a lot of filmmakers are going to give her a chance to grow and shine. It's going to take a couple years for her to reach that point.
Night School was one of those movies that it was like Life of the Party with Melissa McCarthy, where they just let the actors just go and don't rein them in and don't really give them any kind of direction. It was just another one of those, and it was almost 2 hours long. God damn.
The Mule.
Oh yeah, that I want to see. The Eastwood movie.
I always want to see a Eastwood directed movie. At
Yeah.
the same time, like, he's a piece of shit too, but whatever, I'll still see his movie.
Yeah, same. No, I mean, and plus, I was telling you this when we talked about the trailer last time, where I was like, I'm just glad his only movie this year isn't fucking 1517 to Paris or whatever it was called, which was the worst movie he's ever made. This looks like there's actually some kind of, like, whether the movie turns out good or bad, it looks like he has at least some passion behind it, behind the character that he's playing.
Yeah.
It looks like some of the lines he has in the trailer, it sort of feels like a swan song, sort of like his The Shootist in a way.
I'll just do this one more time.
Yeah.
I swear, then I'll be a better father.
Yeah. So, growing up, him being one of my favorite actors, I really want to see the movie. I'll probably go see it with my dad.
Yeah, no.
Looks like it would bore me to tears, but that's okay, because it's not for me.
That's a me and Laura movie.
It sure is. I bet she'll love it.
Oh yeah, she'll love it.
I was like, Willows? What is Willow?
Oh, I hope they're re-releasing Willow.
Mad Madigan!
You are great!
Widows.
Widows looks fucking awesome.
That movie looks brutal.
Yeah. It's like...
That looks like a you and Dave movie.
Steve McQueen's not really known for holding it fucking back.
Well, what, are we talking about Bullet now? I'm kidding. Sorry.
I was like, is that same Steve McQueen?
No.
Like,
Steve McQueen died in 1980.
Listen, I was thinking more, Papillon, but,
I took Laura to go see Bullet the other day.
I was
Lord, let's go see
so
Papillon.
bummed I couldn't fucking come because I forgot about it. I love that goddamn movie. Is it amazing on the big screen?
Oh yeah, it was cool seeing it on the big screen.
Now, which one is Bullet?
Where he's the cop in San
I've got it on
Francisco.
Blu-ray. We'll watch it tonight when we get home.
No, we're going to bed.
No, we're gonna watch fuking Bullet. Then we're gonna watch The Getaway.
Yeah, Thomas Crown
Have I seen
Affair.
any of these movies?
Steve McQueen movies?
Yeah.
Did you see The Great Escape?
I've seen Eddie Izzard recreate The Great Escape.
It's practically the same
Clangy
thing.
and jammy.
The original The Blob from the 50s.
Yeah.
Papillon.
Steve McQueen.
Thomas Crown Affair.
And
I've seen the other Thomas Crown Affair with Pierce Brosnan.
That one's good too.
How do I explain Steve McQueen? Steve McQueen was the Tom Selleck of the late 60s, early 70s, but much cooler. Does that make sense?
He's got like a turtleneck, right?
In Bullet, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's literally all I know about him is he's got a turtleneck.
Like, I still someday want to own the car from Bullet just to own the car because it's the car from Bullet.
Oh, and they show it at the beginning of the movie the other day when they did the documentary in front of it. But no, not the same Steve McQueen who directed 12 Years a Slave. Oh, if Steve McQueen directed that movie would have a whole lot more motorcycle racing in it. So that's how he got away. He just jumped that fence.
Can't trick me. That Steve McQueen changed his name to Alexander McQueen and started designing clothing.
Well, after he faked his death.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Invented
totally.
shoes that look like lobster claws with tentacles on them.
So you don't want to go see Widows when that comes out?
I'll see it. It looks really intense.
I've not seen Widows. It looks great. I promise you, it's fucking better than Peppermint was.
Well, I just didn't want to see Peppermint.
Oh, you'd miss fucking nothing. Holy shit. That movie sucked. Laura went to go see that with me. She didn't like it either. Was that it?
Bohemian Rhapsody. Still looks good. Still like Queen.
I like Queen too, but I don't give a shit about that movie.
Oh, I think it looks good.
I'm looking forward to seeing it on IMAX.
I'm curious what they've done since Sacha Baron Cohen left the movie.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, well, we talked about this because I was under the impression from you that they were like cutting out anything of substance from Freddie Mercury's story, but apparently they're leaving in the fact that he's bisexual. The internet has informed me he's bisexual. They're leaving that part in, and they're leaving the part about the AIDS. It's just not going to be as dark and gritty as it was when Sacha Baron Cohen was going to be in it.
It's gone through a bunch of different rewrites since he dropped out of it. No, I think it looks fine. But again, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing it on IMAX. That'll be pretty cool. Next week is Halloween. Over on Patreon, Ryan and AJ will have their review of The Hate U Give, the protester movie.
Yeah, the girl, because we saw the preview for that one where the girl was like all happy-go-lucky with the friend gets shot by a cop.
Then it takes a turn halfway through that trailer.
It sure does.
Like, that movie looks deep. Send Ryan and AJ to that. No, they
figure it out.
They got it there. It didn't come to... I think it's coming to Springfield next week, but everywhere else it's...
already out.
Yeah, so Ryan and AJ went to go see that, and that'll be over on Patreon.
They're good at the deep movies.
Yeah, they're very good at the deep movies.
This movie was obviously trying to say something about God, but it's just...
Play Deep Purple some more. Alright, so next week is the new Halloween movie, and see you then.
I'll be back in like a month, guys. Bye.
Bye!
The next time I can see you.